To use TMT codes, enter the code at the search prompt at www.jackbord.org and you'll be taken to the page it points to. The TMT code for the Motor Drive kit is shown on the screen now. And the TMT code for this video is shown here. In this video, we're going to set up the motor drive system by connecting the wheels to the JackBord and getting the motor drives plugged in. In the next video, we'll learn how to use the drive system and how to drive the JackBord. If you want to skip ahead to part 2, use this TMT code. These are the parts of the kit. First, we have 2 wheels. Then we have the 2 drive motors with the Jackano universal motor mounts. We have the front trolley wheel, 6 M4 nuts, 6 M4 4mm bolts, and 6 M4 washers. The first thing we're going to do is attach the left drive motor. We want to position it on the left-hand side, down by the power port. To do this, we need to insert 2 M4 bolts as shown. We want them to be on the back end. Next, use your left finger to hold the bolts so that they don't fall out when we turn the JackBord upside down. To help make sure that you're installing the motor in the right direction, the front of the JackBord or port B should be here, and the rear or port D of the JackBord should be over here on the right. The power button should be just here. Take the drive motor unit and attach it to the bolts like this. Now take one of the washers and place it on the bolt, and after that, place on one of the M4 nuts. Get another washer and place it on the second bolt, and then attach a nut. We're using the washers to stop the nuts from coming off as we drive the robot around. Use the spanner to half tighten the bolts because we still need to be able to move the mount. Now we need to check that the line of the motor is parallel with the edge of the JackBord. When it is, tighten the nuts up, but don't make them too tight. Now check your work against these pictures. Once you're satisfied all is well, we'll connect the right-hand drive motor. Now it's time to fit the right-hand drive motor. This is going to be located on the lower right by port E, and we're basically going to use the same method we did to attach the left motor. First, take 2 M4 bolts and insert them in the last 2 holes facing towards the back. Then use your finger to stop the bolts falling out as you tip the JackBord upside down. Now we want to attach the right-hand drive unit like this, and again use your thumb to hold it in place. To help make sure that you're installing the motor in the right place, port D of the JackBord should be right here on the left, and port B should be here on the right. Attach the washer, and then attach one of the M4 nuts. Once you've done this, add the second washer and the second nut. Then use the spanner to loosely tighten the nuts so that we can still move the motor mount. Then check the alignment of the mount and make sure that it's exactly parallel to the JackBord. Once it is, use the spanner to tighten the bolts. And once again, don't tighten them too hard. Now check your work against these pictures to make sure that you've mounted the motor properly. When mounted, both motors should be the same distance away from the back of the JackBord, and they should be exactly parallel to the sides of the JackBord. We now have both the left and the right drive motors mounted to the JackBord. Now that both drive motors are connected, the next job is to connect the front trolley wheel to the JackBord. Tilt the JackBord up so that you can see the factory ID label, and then take two of the M4 bolts and insert them in like this. Use your finger to stop them falling out and fit the front trolley wheel as you see here, and add the washers and then the nuts. And then use the spanner to tighten the nuts so that the trolley wheel doesn't fall off. Once you've completed this, your trolley wheel should look something like this. Check yours against these pictures to make sure that you got it right. And now we need to fit the two tyres, one on the left and one on the right. And if you look at the tyres, you see they've actually got a channel inside with two straight walls and then a slight curve. So it's not a circle for the axle. And if we look at the axle, we can see that it's actually has two flat edges as well. So we need to line these up. And if you've got the tyre aligned properly, it will just fit on nicely like that. So that's the left tyre done. And then likewise for the right tyre. And now we have some tyres attached to our motor drives. Before you connect the motors, make sure the JackBord is turned off. Now that we've got the trolley wheel fitted and the left and right motor and tyres fitted, the last thing that remains is to connect the two wires from the motors onto the JackBord's drive terminals. On the JackBord, the left-hand motor drive is on port E, and it's right here, and it has the letters LM. So I take the wire from the left motor with the red wire on the same side as the red bar on the terminal, and I plug it in like that. So that's the left motor plugged into the left motor drive pins on the JackBord. And then for the right-hand motor, take the cord, again making sure that the red wire is on top so it matches up with the red marking here, and I plug it into the right motor terminals, or RM. And so this is the completed drive assembly. Now that you've made the connections, compare your connections with the ones shown here. This is the left motor's connection to the JackBord on port E, and notice that the red wire from the motor is in the same pin as the red bar on the left-hand motor connector. This is the connection for the right-hand motor, and notice that the red wire is also in the same position as the red bar on the right-hand motor connector. In part 2, we're going to learn how to drive the JackBord. To jump directly to part 2, use the TMT code shown on the screen. In the meantime, if you want any other information or are just curious, you can visit us on www.jackbord.org.